Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Today we're back on the Mon Ultimate for our final Monday race of the OLMS series. We're here at Imola. Welcome everyone. We actually have a night race this evening. I just remembered, didn't do something that I should have done. Just give me one little moment. That's better now. Yes, welcome. We're here at Imola. So we are. How much fuel? I think 8 laps will be enough. Yes, welcome. We're here at Imola. Of course, there was the 4-hour race, LMU team event at the weekend. As I mentioned yesterday, I did do that with Eddie, who is also racing this evening. It was good fun, so it was. Good fun indeed. Hey Eddie, speaking of, it was good fun. So have more practice for this event than any of the series so far, but yeah, I know we're not the only one that did the Imola round. It is quite a bit colder. We're in the evening, 8 p.m. Ambient temperature is quite a bit lower. Track temp is so much colder. So the car feels a bit different. The tires just feel a little bit cool and don't feel like they have quite the same grip as what they did on Saturday that we did the race. Also struggling a little bit for confidence because of that. But yeah, if you did the Saturday, the weekend event, you know it was like ambient, about 30 degrees. You know, so as you were coming out of the pits here, your tires were 30 degrees, not 22. And then they got to temperature a little bit quicker because the track was about 45 degrees Celsius rather than 21. And certainly made quite a big difference when it came to tire warm-up. Not as much of a difference when you get pushing the car to its full potential. I feel like it is just missing 0.1, 0.2% grip compared to what it was during the weekend. So then, final round. We're currently sitting third in the championship. We're just looking for a clean race. We've not had too many throughout the series. I want to say our only clean race has actually been, what do you call it? Portimao, when we won. Spa, we got a good result. We got P2, of course, last week, but it wasn't a clean race. We did get taken out T1. Not our fault. Did make things a little bit more difficult, but we soldiered on. We got P2. Let's see what we can do here at Imola. It'll be a very tricky track when it comes to chaos. We had a bit of traffic chaos in the 4-hour race. That's where the thumbnail comes from, by the way, if you're wondering. and I'm sure we will see um, more chaos tonight. So just getting temperature into the tires. Trying not to lock up. Damage the tires. Did have the lock up coming into Ravazza one last lap. On the front right. Head down to start our first, or second flying lap. First with tires up to temperature, down towards T1. Don't push the first apex too hard. Try and get a good exit. Tires not quite up to temperature yet. You can really push that when the tires are up to temperature. Then into the second chicane, don't push the first part too hard. Want to set the second up quite well. If you set up well, you can carry good speed on the short run to Tosa. Careful with brake locking. Get the car turned in and then straighten the car out on exit. Help with traction. Now up towards Peritella. Down 2 gears through the car. You can get on the throttle as soon as you dare, running a little bit wide there. Carry the speed all the way down to Aqua Minerale. Scrub this speed down 1 gear and then heavy on the brakes for the second part. Again, try and carry as much speed out of the corner as you can. Now towards Variante Alta. Braking just as the curb starts a little bit deep. Again, just messing the line up there. Then down into the Ravazzas. Despite being a downhill braking point, you can brake very late, surprisingly late. Get the car turned in for Ravazza 2. Important exit here. Let's head on to what is the start-finish straight, but isn't very straight. 35.3, about 2 seconds off the top time at the moment. Expect that to go down a little bit. But you can see the tires coming up to temperature. A little bit of slip there as we tried to put the power down. A little bit wide at Peritella. Better line through Variante Alta. Not running into the gravel too. Using all of the curb on the exit of Ravazza 2. Let's see where this lap will put us. P4. Still time in it. time through Paratella. Car slipped a little bit on the curb. 32.1. That's a really good pull time at the moment. A little bit of locking as we head into Ravazza 1. Little improvement, only a 10th. Need to find more time though. Down to P6 at the moment, but finding a bit of pace this lap. Rear end going to sell a little moment there, heading into Variant Delta. Couple of corners to go. Six and a half tenths up, halving the gap to current pole position. That puts us P2. Still got a couple of laps left. Already down to P4. But by hundredths of a second, look how tight it is there. But we're finding time. Bit slower through Variant Delta, but Gobert exit. I think it's just a little bit too slow though in the mid corner. Give up a little bit of time through the Ravazzas. But we're back up to second. Final lap. Drop back down to P3. Doesn't look like this lap will be any improvement. Nope. So we'll practice pit entry instead. P3 at the moment. Quite a few other cars into the pits now. And P3 is actually where we started in the for the endurance race on Saturday. They were doing Saturday. I started the car. Wasn't a good start, I'll admit. Took me a little bit to sort of get going, get into a rhythm. Fell to fourth. So yeah, wasn't a great start. Let's see. Before I forget, new tires. Bit of a lock up there for Jacob in Aqua Minerale. Pole position pushed a little bit further to 32.0. Shortening line as much as he can. Improvement up to fourth. But we will hold on in P3. Welcome, Marble. Great to see you. I am a little bit cold, so I am hoping I'll warm up a little bit when we get into the race. It's not nice racing cold. But yeah, starting from P3, I have a bit of a late evening race. Put your feet against the radiator before the races are warm. Yeah, our heating hasn't been on for since this morning. I do have nice thick socks on. But yeah, room is just a little bit chilly this evening. Just let's take the fuel out. Just looking to survive. Turn the headlights on. We will need them, as we've seen in qualifying. So yeah, just hoping for a clean race here. It's going to be tricky through the traffic, especially when we catch them for the first time. Yeah, thankfully we're quite far up, so hopefully we can avoid any any incidents at the first chicane.
Formation lab has started.
Trying to put some heat into the brakes. Just because we do need heat in the tires. Waiting for the start.
Green flag, green flag.
Wasn't the greatest of starts. Right hand side go away much better. It's already 3 wide in front of us. Second place went wide into the gravels, giving a few places up, and looks like there's been an instant behind. So down 1 place, up 1 place. Just go like to sell into this race. I got the traction there. In slipstream now we'll get an idea of wing angles. Current front getting a good run off the first part of the chicane. Not been a particularly great start to this race. Instant behind at the Ravatzes. Can see there's a couple of P2s among the GT3 field. Just don't have the pace of the cars in front. But apart from the car directly behind us, we are breaking away from the cars further back. That's a lapped car off. It's a GT3 in fact. They'll lock up on the front left. But I think we avoided a flat spot. Find a little bit of pace with that lap. Closing in on the two cars in front. Car behind invalidating that last lap. That was the leader that made a mistake there. Evening, Kiki. Join us 5 laps in. Sitting in P3 now after the leader. Just made a mistake. Now finds themselves right behind us. Wonder how their tires are feeling after that. Closed in quite a bit on the two cars in front. They might have had to take more avoiding action from the leader spinning. My game feels anything but smooth at the moment. Starting to approach GT3s. Traffic's not been too bad so far. That was just 2 cars. Plenty more to come. Oh, it's side by side for a lead as they got held up. That's frustrating. Don't know why that car's stopping there. Well, back into P4. And chicane, always tricky to go side by side through. Just not quite enough space given there. Still a bit of time with that fry, but nothing could be done. Six more GT3 cars to go till we've passed the entire pack for the first time. I think we have a lapped one at the front, so it might be another. BMW just very awkwardly slow. Someone's off in the gravel, was a lapped P2. Just getting little stutters in the middle of corners. McLaren indicating it wants the right hand side. I can give them that. Could maybe go for that move on the mark. I'm absolutely flashing that mark again next time I come through. So now we're into clean air for a good bit. I should say I have a break from the GT3 traffic. Later certainly pulled a gap. We're looking at 40 lap race at the moment. That's a little bit shorter than I was expecting. Might go 41. Former leader and pole sitter in front of us. Doesn't seem to have the pace that they did when they were leading. little bit wide there. Pretty sure the little stutter there cost me a couple of tenths. Pace of the top 4 here seems relatively even. Top 5 even, but 5th place is quite a margin back. Won't be too long before we catch the back end of the GT3 pack. GT3 stricken sideways across the track. This one gear too low. Just that, having to slow down with that GT3 just put me out of gear sync. Just braked a little bit too late. Oh, come on! BMW. BMW just getting in everyone's way. Thankfully don't have any damage from that. Hasn't hurt the tires either. Maybe the rear left a little bit. But could be worse. Just close enough to make that dive work. P2 with an issue of sorts was off the track. That's unfortunate. Oh, BMW, where are you going? There's a little bit of rear locking there into the corner. That's a little weird. Right, we'll try and break a slipstream of the car behind. Still have a few GT3s to go. But they're starting to spread out to the point where we're not going to get many calm moments. Not too long till we pit though. Too much of an apex. That BMW with a rear wing, not too much of a surprise. Isn't going much slower than it was previously anyway. Another stutter there. McLaren wasn't as decisive that time on which side it wanted. Just the leader, and then we will have a gap. From the GT3s. Said I'd flash that mark, so flash returned. Right. 6 laps to go till we pit. Got a 6-second gap to the car behind now. Got that BMW just parked up now. Probably safest place it's been all race. Amazon to good Ravazza 2. Just a little bit wide for the apex. Catching up to the tail end for the GT3s again. Okay, a little late turning in there to Ravazza 2. front right, lock up. Little bit of a flat spot on it now. Two laps till we pit. Could be the end of lap 28 that we pit. A bit sooner than I thought we would. Going front made a mistake. Right into the pits this lap. Quite an early pit stall. Hopefully we don't have traffic when we're trying to exit our pit box. Right, 34 litres, 13 laps of fuel. Do have one car coming in, just where we're going, but doesn't really hold us up. That car might be taking on new tires that we were fighting with. Have closed up to other cars in front of us. Oh, now it's going to be a 42 lap race. This game at times. One car off in the gravel. Well, we can save fuel just in case. Leader's pitting now. It's down, back down to 41. So I think our behind took on an extra lap or two worth of fuel. .4, okay, that's better. We have closed up to cars in front. So they've either taken tires or repaired damage. Both of which mean we're less likely to catch them. Still got one car in front, Eddie, yet to pit. You can definitely do a 31 lap stint around here. We were doing 31 lap stints on Saturday in the 4R. Did require quite a bit of fuel saving though. So on this occasion, only going 30 laps. Just over 60 minutes left in the race. 11 laps. Game saying we're a little bit short. I've been over consuming. We're consuming more fuel than I thought we'd be. This race. So we may need to save a little bit of fuel. Lifting, coasting tonight? Not that much. We just might need to if I'm using a little bit more fuel than I expected to. GT3's gonna give us the left-hand side. Appreciate that. Very early on the brakes. Give me a horrible line through the chicane since it turned in too early. We do have a chance at P3 if we have the pace. And car behind is certainly going to keep us honest for P4, even if we can't catch P3. GT3 picking the right-hand side. Fair enough. Made it clear, which appreciate. Long curbs still through the first chicane. The lock as went to turn in for the right-hander. Still a little late turning in. I think car behind got unlucky with the Mercedes there. Lost a bit of time. Looks like we have some traffic in front. Maybe could have dive bombed that GT3, but we've been very late, very risky. Yeah, that cost us quite a bit of time, unfortunately. Just how it goes sometimes. Yeah, this traffic lick isn't going to let us catch up to P3 in front. Lapped LMP3 bouncing across the grass. Minutes remaining. You can see the GT3s are quite evenly spread around the track. Expecting GT3 to be a little bit quicker there. Just to push out to the outside curb a little bit more. Apparently 6 laps of fuel as we crossed the line there. Did do a little bit of lifting coasting behind a GT3, which will help. Eight minutes to go. Two and a half seconds, the gap behind. Don't really want that to close any further. But there's only so much that we can do with traffic. Not a usual move to get past that Aston, but with it just running in deep, had to adapt. Did get a bit of fuel saving in though. Fortunately, gap behind's closed up again. Gap's open back up to 2 seconds. Thankfully, time is running out in this race for the car behind. Yeah, we're looking good on fuel now. Gap's come down a bit. Mercedes making clear which side it wants to be on. Stutters as I went over that curb were concerning. Car behind lost a little bit of time though. Well then, on to the final lap. 2.8, yeah, we definitely have enough fuel, a little bit to spare as well. Just gonna not make any mistakes and hope the traffic doesn't screw us over too bad. I think we'll catch one GT3 here. Which you can see in front of us now. I will not lose too much time behind, if any. Gap for the leads come down to about half a second. Time has ran out. Oh, it might be a little bit of a drag race to the line, looking at the gap as they come down the start-finish straight. Close between the two leaders at the end. Not able to catch up for P3 in the end. We'll have sell for P4. We probably would have had P3 if it wasn't for the BMW into Ravazza too. Yeah, finishing the race with about 0.2 litres of fuel. Yeah, we got that fuel bang on. 0.2 is what I was expecting to end with. Yeah, tough race that. I mean, look how close. Those fastest laps are pretty close. Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. Yeah, P4. I felt like coming in, actually having a bit of practice was going to help and maybe make it a little bit better, easier. But if anything, it felt like that was more difficult because of the practice. And just with the difference in temperatures and from day to night, you know, instead of coming into this like, right, I'm just learning, you know, what this is, getting used to this, as coming in like, right, this is what I'm expecting. Hang on, it's a little bit different. I don't know if it would have made too much of a difference. The pace ultimately, I don't think, was that much different than it was for some of the other rounds. It's just annoying us getting stuttering a lot. Quite a few DNFs. 6 DNFs? Um, but yeah, we maybe could have had P3 if it wasn't for the BMW spinning us, but that's how it goes sometimes. You're so annoyed you got spun like 5 times. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, to be honest, I feel like the GT3, most of the GT3s there were good. There were a couple that were a bit off. I don't know. Actually, I would say that was maybe not. I wouldn't say that was any better than. Um, I wouldn't say there's any better than the bottom split we got at for the 4 hour race at the weekend. It was, yeah, there were a couple of people that made that a bit difficult. Certainly that BMW that certainly dragged the average down. Um, Dragged it down quite a bit. Um, but yeah, tough race, tough conditions. Yeah, the headlights on these cars aren't that strong. Um, yeah, it is quite dark. But yeah, I think we maybe could have got P3 there, but hey, not much we could do. So yeah, that's gonna be the series. Um, I want to say we'll still finish in P3 of the standings. Um, be able to check in just a moment. So we will, yeah, provisionally P3. Um, yeah, car in front of us. In second in standings was the car actually behind us in that race, James Kiley. We were only 4 points behind in the end, and this ended up being their drop round of the season, despite getting P10 last round, because it was double points. That 10th place gave them more points than the 5th place from this evening. That's odd. I wouldn't have expected that. But yeah, and then we're 20 points clear of the next car behind us. So yeah, maybe if if we didn't have one of the a bad Le Mans, bad Silverstone, um, or a bad Monza. If we had good races at one of those, we maybe could have got second in the standings. But you could say similar for if James didn't have a bad Spa, they would have had a much better result with that being double points. That wrong strategy call really did cost them. Yeah, and they seem to struggle a bit here at Monza, or not at Monza, but Imola. They seem to struggle, didn't quite have the pace. But yeah, that race not too bad. Wasn't amazing though. Um, yeah, we'll take that. Fortunately, we can end on a bit of a higher note of the season, but that is what it is. But yeah, that is going to be it for this season, this Monday series. We might have a short Monday series for the next couple of weeks. Um, there's an LMP3 Cup going on that started tonight actually. Goes on for a couple of weeks at Qatar Short and Bahrain Paddock. Um, Shorter races, they're only 45-minute races um, in the LMP3s, and it's single class, though it is a little low on sign-ups. If it doesn't get a few more between now and next week, and see how many actually competed in today's race out of the 13 signed up for it. I might do it, or I might just say, you know what, let's take Mondays off as a rest. If we don't do that Monday series, not this Friday, but next Friday, we'll be starting another multi-class series. GT3s I'll be racing in. It's been a little while since touched GT3s, but it'll be nice to get into them, try them out again, be in the lower class, as we've got hypercars too. Of course, we did that Bahrain race. We did. It's sort of a new season for RCI. So looking forward to joining that and yeah, trying the GT3s once again. Should be good fun. Slightly longer races, 80-minute races there. So yeah, should be good fun. Looking forward to that, and we'll see what else comes up over December. We might have some Assetto Corsa races on Tuesdays, and yeah, who knows what else pops up. There might be the new DLC with Paul Ricard, I believe, will be in it, and of course, and the Ginetta LMP3 is the current track coming with part 2 of the LMS season. That should be coming sometime December. Which in which case, we'll probably be doing 1 or 2 races with those when they release. But yeah, in the meantime, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you, Eddie. Shame your race didn't go as planned. But yeah, thank you, Artie, Geeky, Sarkrad. Thank you for being around chatting a little bit. Thank you to anyone who's been lurking in chat or watching the VOD back. Hope you all enjoyed that race and have enjoyed the season as well. Very much a season of up and downs. Quite a tricky season. But yeah, has certainly been fun at times, nevertheless. But yeah, that's going to do it for Mondays. Thank you all very much. Hopefully, I'll see you again if we do next Monday. Hopefully, then, if not next Friday. But yeah, until then, have a good rest of your week, have a good weekend, and a good start to your next week. But yeah, until next time, again, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.